welcome to PlebPla. We're in multi-battle. I didn't think there was good reason for me to split this up into 4 different videos, as they would be all terribly short. So, from left to right, we have the Gundam X from SD Gundam Generation 0, the Gundam Double X from SD Gundam G Generation F, the Gundam Leopard from the same, and Gundam Airmaster from the same, each and everything from the year of our Bandai Lords, 2000. Now, I don't know what happened with video game releases in that year, but all of these are based off of the G Generation SD games, of which we currently have in the New Age, Genesis, and Crossrays. But somehow, the Gundam X ended up in a different series than the Double X, Leopard, and Airmaster. Weird. So, basically, we have the page with our runners, our warnings, very simple sandwich assembly, and then on the other side you'll get a last page with typically the gimmicks, our front page, and then data via the video game, wherein it also shows you how to get from certain units to build these, and therefore, and moving forward in the generational line. So we'll also show off the back of the Gundam X. As you can see, you will start these, evolve, and then move forward. Oh, no! I'm so sorry, folks. Back here, once again the same. We'll start here, get these, and then acquire. Start over here, get, and then the evolution point, which, now in most cases you can see the common trend of Gundam Wing and something you see being involved to make the Gundam X model units. You see Wing and a gun cannon will make the X, and then the X and the heavy arms will make the Leopard. The part that's throwing me off in this entire process is how do we go from the Airmaster to getting either the ZEON or the Psycho Gundam? That doesn't seem like a step in the correct evolution. Well, whatever. We're not here to dialogue about video games. We're here to dialogue about the models. Each of them are incredibly similar. You can see that there's a lot of sticker to be done all over. Like even these across the chest are stickers here. Your feet are very simple. They're on pegs. Arms only rotate at the shoulder. Our beam saber is entirely one effect part, and my favorite, Lego green. And then each one of these has its own bit of a gimmick. Of course, naturally you will have the satellite cannon. For the X, it comes with this additional part here. You plug that into the back of the gun itself, at which point you will begin to disassemble and apply the satellite fins at your discretion. Let me get these out of here. Of course, you do want to try to line them up as best as you can, otherwise they look a little silly. And I can already see what I've done wrong. Oh no, it won't come out! No! There it goes. I suppose there's not much difference if you wanted to plug them in the front instead. I just think it looks a little silly. There we go. Try to get a nice shape going. And that will plug into the hand on either side that you like. It just plugs in. There you go. The Gundam Double X is the same. It does come with a shield. It comes with its beam buster rifle, which is hollow on one side and implies that maybe something would plug in over here. Nothing does. In the back, if I can rotate them correctly, which, no, obviously I can't. I don't know how. There we go. The wings will pull out a bit. There's that extra bit of articulation for the sake of opening everything up. And then bring your guns down over the shoulder. Twin satellite cannons having a good day. Now here's the one that I find a little interesting, is gives him a knife, but that could be a carryover, possibly partially because of heavy arms. You do have your chest Vulcans here on its own hinge. Over here at the shoulder you've got a missile pod. You have a Gatling pod over here, or a grenade launcher I believe it is, that shifts back and forth. I don't know why. But then you have your big old Gatling, which does a thing. It's very different from the rest. You need to take the arm off. You need to take this part off. You need to take the rest of this arm and throw it away. And then you take this white piece out, discard it the same. Slot this into place. Everything should line up. We're gonna slide this into one side. And then plug the arm in. Because if you haven't seen Gundam X, the arm will slide into the Gatling around the shoulder, and it gives it a little more active control than just being mounted. Over here, we have the Airmaster, which again, it does a thing with the guns that tries to imply that there's supposed to be a little bit more going on. Like, you could plug these into somewhere else, but you can't. Set those aside. It does transform very much in the way that the wing does, so for now we're going to start here at the shoulders. We'll take these wing bits, rotate them around. Now, this is where this one's got a big flaw. It wants you to work with these pieces and move them around and rotate them, but they have a very heavy tendency to pop off of the shoulders where they go. So, you could either just take them off and deal with it, or what's been going through my mind is glue it down. Back here you have the jet head, the nose cone. You can take the head and, like others, just get rid of it, throw it away. Rotate the waist. This one actually has moving toes, so you'll flatten that out. The chest here will rotate upward, so you'll want to hold your guns down. This tab fits into this little slot right here, not very well or deeply. And then I tell you a lie and forget that these square plugs will go into this recess right here. As I completely forgot that that's where they plugged in and unintentionally told you lies. I apologize for doing so. And here we go. Now, something that I want to bring up with these particular set of SDs, compared to previous SDs that I had been reviewing, the really old 80s and 90s BB Senshi, was very impressed to see that these had an articulated waist. They don't have ball joints in the feet unlike the other ones do, which is very strange. And I thought the others had more than just rotating arms, but I could also be completely wrong about that. There's a lot of work that you can do with them, as with any SD kit, but they're great. And for a local find, I'm going to plug this into the back because that's going to look funny. Can I? Is the peg long enough? No. Just sit there. So, these were a very lucky local find. The entire set were $5 a piece, which, even if you're not into SDs, they're great in a pinch. These were all built during the recent Texas icicle disaster, and they most certainly kept me occupied and not bored to tears. Once again, I'm not giving SD kits a rating because they exist in their own sort of pocket space, dimensional space, grading area, gray area. It's not fair to rate something that was not intended for high detail and high articulation. Whenever you get extra articulation, that's more so a bonus, and they're more a novelty. Well, everything's a novelty, that's not the right thing. They're more suited for younger builders, beginner builders, deep and desperate fans that have yet to get a proper high grade of a model kit. We're going to sit on that for a minute. Let that soak in. A proper high grade but I digress. SD kits are great. Choose them at your leisure. Give them a chance. Put them on your desk at work and find out that you might have new friends or new foes because you have giant robots. Tiny, giant robots. Thank y'all for watching. It's March now. We resumed with the robot video games. Good night, Space Noise.